The world of technology is buzzing with a new energy. This energy is called artificial intelligence, or AI. You see it everywhere. It powers your phone's smart assistant. It recommends movies for you to watch on a Friday night. It even helps doctors find diseases earlier. Now a new wave of AI is making headlines. It's called generative AI, or GenAI. This is the technology behind tools that can write stories, create stunning art, or even compose music. It's a field that is growing incredibly fast, creating opportunities that didn't exist just a few years ago. This excitement has created a modern-day gold rush. Companies, from tiny startups to giant tech corporations, are all racing to build the next big thing in AI. They are looking for talented people to help them do it. They need engineers, researchers, product managers, and designers who understand this new technology. However, with great opportunity comes great competition. You are not just competing with a few other people, you are competing with thousands of brilliant, ambitious individuals from all over the globe. This makes the hiring process incredibly tough. So, how do you stand out in such a crowded field? How do you convince a company that you are the one they should hire? This is where the interview comes in. It is your chance to shine, to show them who you are beyond the piece of paper. The interview is the final battleground where jobs are won or lost. Many people think getting an AI job is all about technical skills. But I have seen brilliant engineers with amazing projects fail their interviews. Why? Because they couldn't communicate their ideas clearly. An interview is not just a test of what you know, it is a performance, it is a test of how you think, how you solve problems, and how you communicate. The interviewer wants to see more than your final answer, they want to understand how you got there. Your ability to perform well in an interview is just as important as your technical expertise. This is why preparing for the interview is your secret weapon. This guide is here to help you do just that. We will break down the entire interview process step by step. It's about building a framework for success. Let's get started. Before you write a single word of your resume, you need to do your homework. The world of AI is vast. Start by reading job descriptions carefully. Pay close attention to the responsibilities section. Pay close attention to the qualifications section. What specific skills are they looking for? Once you understand the roles, you need to research the companies. Look into the company's mission, their products, and their recent news. This knowledge will be invaluable. It gives you a massive advantage in the interview itself. It demonstrates that you are not just looking for any job, you are looking for this job. Your resume is your ticket to an interview. It needs to tell a compelling story. Start with a strong summary or objective section at the top. The most important part of your resume is the experience section. Use the STAR method, situation, task, action, result, to frame your bullet points. Quantifying your impact with numbers makes your accomplishments much more powerful. Finally, keep your resume clean and easy to read. Limit your resume to one page if you have less than 10 years of experience. Proofread it multiple times. Treat it with care and it will open the door to the interviews you want. In the AI field, practical experience is king. A well-chosen project can be even more valuable than work experience. You should select 2 or 3 of your strongest, most relevant projects. Choose projects that align with the job you are applying for. For each project, you need to prepare a clear and concise description. Start by explaining the problem you were trying to solve. Then describe the actions you took. Finally, and most importantly, what were the results? Make your projects accessible. Host your code on GitHub. Have a live demo if possible. Link to these from your resume. This allows a curious hiring manager to dig deeper. The technical interview is often the part that candidates fear the most. Interviewers want to understand your thought process. To prepare, you must practice. These platforms have vast libraries of coding problems that are similar to what you will face in a real interview. When you are given a problem in an interview, do not rush to start coding. First, make sure you understand the question completely. Ask clarifying questions.
Once you are clear on the problem, talk through your proposed solution before you write any code. This gives the interviewer a window into your thinking. My initial thought is to use a hash map.
After the general coding questions, you can expect a dive into machine learning concepts. They are testing the depth of your understanding. To succeed here, you need to move beyond memorization. Implement core algorithms from scratch. This forces you to understand mechanics and explain them clearly. Discuss metrics beyond accuracy. Know when each metric matters. For example, in medical diagnosis you prioritize recall to minimize false negatives. If you are interviewing for a role in generative AI, the focus will shift to large language models and related technologies. An interviewer might give you a scenario and ask you to design a prompt for it. A good answer would go beyond a simple instruction.
Be prepared to discuss limitations and ethical considerations of GenAI. This shows a mature and thoughtful perspective. Hallucinations, bias, RAG, content filters.
Be ready to talk about a project where you used it. This practical experience beats theory.
The whiteboard challenge is a staple of technical interviews. It is to see how you structure your thoughts and communicate your ideas visually. Design a system to detect plagiarism in student essays.
When presented with a whiteboard problem, the first step is the same as with any technical question. Listen and clarify. How many essays per day? What is the turnaround time?
Start with a high-level design. As you draw, talk through your decisions. This narration is crucial. The interviewer will likely ask you to zoom in on a component. Be prepared to discuss trade-offs. This shows you're senior and pragmatic. Interviewer, tell me about a time you faced a difficult challenge. Beyond the technical hurdles, you will face behavioral interview questions. They use your past behavior to predict future performance. The most effective framework is the STAR method. It helps you create a clear, concise, compelling narrative. Before your interview, prepare several stories from your past. Frame them using STAR. Start with the situation. Next, the task. Finally, action and result. The result, the simpler model had nearly identical accuracy but was 50% faster. The lesson, use data to resolve disagreements constructively. AI and machine learning projects are rarely a solo endeavor. Interviewers are deeply interested in your ability to work well with others. When answering questions about conflict, show maturity and professionalism. Never speak negatively about former colleagues. Focus on the process you use to resolve the conflict. The result should be positive or a valuable learning experience. A great outcome, a compromise that incorporated the best of both ideas. Two of the most common and important questions you will face are, why are you interested in this role and why do you want to work for our company? To answer why this role. Effectively, connect the job description directly to your skills and your aspirations. This shows you have read the job description carefully. For the why this company question, your research becomes your greatest asset. Mention something unique about the company, their mission, a specific product, or their company culture. Ultimately, your answers should weave together into a compelling narrative that says, I am the perfect person for this job, and this is the perfect job for me. Just when you think you have everything prepared, an interviewer might throw you a curveball. When you get a question like this, the most important thing to do is not to panic. It's perfectly acceptable to take a moment to think. Your goal is to break the problem into logical steps and walk the interviewer through your reasoning. Interviewers care more about your thought process than your final number. This turns a strange question into a chance to showcase your strengths.
Interviewer, tell me about this project. One of the most exciting parts of an AI interview is when you get to talk about your own work. This is your moment to shine.
Our customer support team was overwhelmed with email volume. Start with the why, set the context before technical details. Explain the problem in simple, non-technical terms. I was part of a 3-person team, and my responsibility was the machine learning pipeline, from pre-processing to evaluation. Be honest and precise about what you owned. Interviewers want your individual contribution. We had an imbalanced data set, so we used data augmentation, rotation, and flipping to create a more balanced training set. Focus on the why behind your technical decisions. This shows you understand real-world data problems and solutions. We chose a pre-trained ResNet 50 to avoid overfitting. Its residual connections let us go deeper and get better performance. When discussing your model choice, justify it against alternatives. This demonstrates understanding of architectures and trade-offs. The model struggled in different lighting conditions, so we collected more diverse images to improve robustness. Be prepared to talk about what went wrong. Talking about challenges and how you overcame them is powerful. It shows resilience, problem-solving skills, and honesty. After you've walked through the technical solution, you need to answer the so what question. What was the result of your work? Candidate transition line implied. My model reduced manual sorting time by 80%, which allowed the support team to respond 40% faster and freed up 20 hours of work per week. Quantify the impact whenever possible. Numbers are powerful. They make your achievements concrete and credible. If I were to do this again, I would explore a more lightweight model to reduce inference latency and further improve the user experience. Finally, conclude your project story by talking about what you learned or what you would do differently next time. This demonstrates a mindset of continuous improvement.
You present yourself not just as someone who can build AI, but as someone who can use AI to create meaningful results. It is completely normal to feel nervous. The key is not to eliminate anxiety, but to manage it. Thorough preparation is the most effective way to combat nerves.
Interviewer: do you have any questions for us? What are the team's biggest challenges in the coming year? Your answer to this should never be no. Prepare a list of insightful questions beforehand. This shows you are thinking like a member of the team.
Your work is not done when the interview ends. A prompt and professional follow-up is a critical final step. This guide has given you a roadmap. However, reading this guide is just the beginning. Action is what turns that potential into reality. Start today. Pick one thing from this guide and work on it. Each small step you take builds momentum. Remember that every no you receive is not a failure. It is a data point. Embrace this process of iteration and improvement. The field of artificial intelligence is one of the most exciting and impactful areas of technology today. The opportunities to build amazing things are immense. You have what it takes to succeed. Acknowledge imposter syndrome, but do not let it define you. Your unique background, your passion, and your perspective are valuable assets. Walk into every interview not with the fear of being judged, but with the confidence that you are there to have a collaborative discussion. You are a potential partner in building something great. So take a deep breath. Stand tall. Your journey into the world of AI is just beginning. Go out there and show them that you are ready to be one of its architects. Good luck.